No.
Welcome to the Village of University Park. Thank you. We're meeting October 10th, 7 o'clock. That's called to order. Roll call, please.
Trustee Williams here. Trustee Wilson.
She's out to go back to school.
Trustee Brooks.
Present.
Trustee McMullen.
Present.
Trustee Payton.
Here.
Trustee Oscar Brown.
Here.
And Mayor Cummings.
Present. Please join me with the pledge of allegiance.
One nation.
Thank you very much. For Tuesday, September 26th. Moved by trustee Payton, second by trustee McMullen. Questions, corrections, concerns, comments? There's one for me. There was, the guy's name was Tony, not Jerry.
Okay.
Right, that's it. Any others? And roll call, please.
Trustee Williams. Aye. Trustee Brooks.
Abstain.
Trustee McMullen.
Aye.
Trustee Payton.
Aye.
Trustee Brown.
Aye.
And Mayor Cummings.
Aye. Thank you. General public. Marvin Wells. You want to speak? Did you want to speak?
No.
Oh, okay. Just signing. Thank you. Ms. Mary Truss.
Good evening, everyone. I came here this evening because we had our community block club meeting on Saturday. And from the community block club meeting, we were asked by some of the residents of University Park if we could speak to the parking issue around Olmsted Park. One gentleman said he has difficulty having guests at his home because of the parking issue. I said to him that I would bring it to the board and say something about it, the parking issue there. Now, it is a problem because the street is narrow and you're trying to get through and they park on both sides of the street, and they're also spilling over into the homes in that area. I don't live on that street or whatever, but this is a resident of University Park, but I have experience trying to get through there when they park on both sides of the street, and then sometimes some of the people will sit in the middle of the street and talk to someone on the side. And you must be, and I ask you to please be, I creep through there because there are little children there and you never know when one is going to run out in the street. Now, I don't know what we can do about that. Maybe Ms. Keeley can approach the school board and ask that if we may use their parking lot there at the middle school. We're using it. They've been so gracious to let us use it for the activities on Friday nights and whatever. So that is one thing we might look at. The gentleman also said there was a grassy area somewhere that he thought that they may be able to put some cars on. I don't know where that area was. I've been looking and looking and I can't see what area he is speaking of, but I thought I would bring that to you because that's the issue that they are having in the community, and I know that's a factor.
As a matter of fact, Ms. Truss, the village has already addressed that. Actually, that's a project, an ongoing project that Trustee Williams is working on, and I think Theo Brooks and him. I've already addressed, and we're looking to do policy on that.
Okay.
They're going to change the whole. Yes, sir.
In tonight's board packet, we are actually voting on that very issue. It's docket number F1B, and on page 3 well, prior to that, it says, no person shall park a motor vehicle at any time on, and then our paragraph 27 says Homestead Lane from Blackhawk Drive through South Regal Farm Road.
Okay, well, I don't know if that will address the issue, but at least you've made an effort on there. The other issue we're having is, I know you hear on news all the time where people have abandoned cars and they will steal them on somewhere else across town, abandoned in the community. That's happening in in our area. There's one on my street now. Having cars there when it's time to sweep the street, we don't put out signs like you do in Chicago and say street sweeping at this time. He comes along when they have permit for them to sweep the streets. It is also time for leaves to be falling. And it's so important that the trees overhang the street, so you're going to get leaves in the street as well. And I'm asking the homeowners, please, can we try to sweep up some of the leaves in your street, because all areas are not the same, but in my area, it all comes down to one area when it rains, and it puts them down and it stops up the drain. And there are two homeowners over there that are left, and you know about it, that we're left with, we're cleaning out that drain. And if we don't clean it out, we've got water all the way up from that drain up to my house. So it's and at the corner of Black Hawk and Hickok, that one stops up too. And then the other thing I want to ask, since we had such a warm fall and late start, if we could extend the tree pickup, the brushes, you know, the brush that we put in there is usually over around October, I think. But if we could possibly extend that a little bit longer, we'd be so appreciative, because our trees are just starting to turn because it has been so warm. And I think that's all I have right now.
Mrs. Truss, I am cognizant of that particular Olmsted traffic jam, because every evening when they have football practice, you have the parents there lining east and west on Olmsted, and it's sort of difficult to get through, because we could make a plea to the parents that they can park right there in Palmer Park's parking lot, or they can move on down to the school board if we get an opportunity to address that. So, but the thing that we're going to address tonight is overnight parking, and we should be able to rectify that problem there.
Well, that's overnight, but they're there during the day.
During the day. Yeah,
they're there during the day. And you can only park on that parking lot. It will only facilitate a very few cars. So taxpayers pay tax on that school 24/7. And I don't see why we can't get some kind of permission in some kind of dispensation. I mean, ask not, have not. And see if we could possibly use the middle school parking lot. Is not being used usually at that period of time. That makes a lot of sense to me.
Well, Attorney Weiss just mentioned it to me that it's going to be for any time. So when we vote on it tonight.
Okay. Well, I'm glad you're on it and taking care of it, because I'm on it.
Thank you.
And to let you know also, Trustee Williams has been working on that project since she's been on board, actually, about the park.
Thank you. Action items, unfinished business, F1A, third reading, ordinance amending section 210-01 and 210-02 of the chapter 2010 and Title 4 of Part 2 of the Codified Ordinance of the Village of University Park, changing the regular and committee of the whole meeting dates to the Board of Trustees established in the order of business for committee of the whole meetings. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Moved by Trustee Brooks. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Trustee Milton Payton. Questions, concerns, comments?
Yeah, I have
Yes,
just
sir.
one quick question.
Yes, sir.
Under the agenda for that will be used for the committee of the whole, under number 5B, which it says other items, I refer to page 3. Can we, under other items, do like a bill payable if we need to under that particular section?
Clerk, would you?
If it's a special meeting, I think that's addressed in here, that we could add items to it. If we knew in advance when the agenda was being put together.
Yeah, this is for the committee of the
Yeah.
whole, right, so we can put it both meetings.
Right, it would have to be labeled the committee of the whole and a special meeting.
Okay.
Oh,
Committee as a whole. Special, okay. Any others? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Trustee Williams. Trustee Brooks.
Both sides.
Trustee McMullen.
Both sides.
Trustee Payton.
Aye.
Trustee Brown.
Aye.
And Mayor Cummings.
Both sides.
All right. Madam Mayor.
Woo, finally.
That's first step. Madam Mayor, that's ordinance 2017-22.
Thank you very much. Second and third reading and ordinance amending chapter 440 of the Title 8 and Part 4 of the Codified Ordinance of the Village at University Park, Will and Cook County, Illinois, restricting parking and special locations and regulations overnight parking. Is there a motion? So moved by trustee Brooks. Second by trustee McMullen. Questions, concerns, comments? Thank you, trustee Williams. Roll call.
Trustee Williams.
Both sides.
Trustee Brooks.
Both sides.
Trustee McMullen.
Both sides.
Trustee Payton.
Aye.
Trustee Brown.
Aye.
And Mayor Cummings.
Both sides.
Madam Mayor, that's ordinance 2017-23.
Thank you very much. And this will be in effect, Chief paid around immediately and some of December. No.
This is an amendment of an existing ordinance, so this will be applied immediately. The only areas that would not be applied immediately is Burnham, because Burnham has been added to the list as a no parking at any time street. So until street signs are properly installed by the Public Works Department, we'll only be enforcing overnight parking on that street, but not all-day parking.
Okay.
Excuse me.
Yes, please.
Did you get some stickers so that you can put them on the people's car and let the people know that there's no parking there?
We have stickers.
Warning.
We have warning stickers.
Warning stickers. So are you gonna, start using them tomorrow since this is passed tonight?
It has to be published and signed.
You got to publish it. Okay. I've only been waiting a month.
I know, right?
Okay.
We have to sign off.
Right. She ready for it.
Okay.
Yes, we are.
Excuse me, where can I get a copy? How would I know that this works? Where can I get a copy of that?
You want to take a trip up here right now?
Okay. New business. Motion to authorize a deposit in the amount of $3,000 for ADR System of American LLC for mediation costs in the matter of Clorox International Company versus University Park, 17 CB 62. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Moved by trustee Brooks, second.
Second.
Second by trustee McMullen. Questions, concerns, comments? Hearing none, roll call.
Trustee Williams. Trustee Brooks.
Both sides.
Trustee McMullen.
Both sides.
Trustee Payton.
Aye.
Trustee Brown.
Aye.
And Mayor Cummings.
Both sides. Thank you. Bills payable? Okay. Attached for your approval is the listings of general operating expenses for the Village of University Park that occurred on September 26, 2017 through October 10, 2017. General fund account $66,754.49. Road and bridge $1,480.88. Town Center, $350, totaling $68,585.37. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Who was the motion? Trustee Payton?
Yes.
Yes.
Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to amend the bills payable to include a payment to the Bright Company for $9,372.74, which would bring that general fund account number to $76,147.23, and the total bills payable would be $77,978.11. And the reason for this is that this must be paid immediately because we have purchased through a grant emergency communications equipment for the police department, and we will get reimbursed with it in 2 weeks. But if we don't approve this tonight, then we lose the grant.
I'll second Trustee Payton's motion.
Thank you. Any comments, concerns? Hearing none, roll call on the amendment, bills payable.
Trustee Williams.
$77,978.11. Okay. You said both sides? Okay.
Trustee Brooks.
Both sides.
Trustee McMullen.
Both sides.
Trustee Payton.
Aye.
Trustee Brown.
Aye.
And Mayor Cummings.
Both sides. Thank you.
Now, we need to do roll call on bills payable.
Yes, for the initial cost of $77,000. Yes, amended amount. Roll call, please.
Trustee Williams. Trustee Brooks.
Both sides.
Trustee McMullen.
Both sides.
Trustee Payton.
Aye.
Trustee Brown.
Aye.
And Mayor Cummings.
Aye. Thank you. Do you want to do the presentation?
Is the presenter here for the presentation on housing?
Housing. Person here.
And the individual for the presentation on occupational health will come to the next board meeting.
Okay. Okay, yes, sir. All right, then we'll go into, no, board, I'm sorry. Comments. We'll do comments from our departments first. and then we'll do comments.
Good evening, Mayor and Board of Trustees. Just wanted to let you guys know that we are preparing for our trunk or treat, and we would love to have each and every one of you all attend. It will be Saturday, October 28th from 2 to 4:30 at the University Park Library. But if you're interested in coming out so we can show you exactly some various ideas on what to put in your trunk as far as goodies, that will be this Saturday, October 14th at 11 to 12 at the library. This is free. For more information, you can call Ms. Jenkins or myself at 708-921-4383 is her number, or mine is 708-473-8165. Fundamental Youth Basketball will be starting on Monday, October 6th through the 27th. If you're interested in signing up anyone that's kindergarten through 4th grade, please feel free to go to Village Hall and pick up the information. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening, Mayor, Board of Trustees, and General Public. Just an update on the cable studio. We had Comcast engineers out last week. Excuse me. They test the fiber connections from Comcast to the studio, and then back they pinged the connection back to Comcast. So that was repaired and operational. At this point, we have a kind of a threefold process in trying to get things back up and running. We have to identify the current hardware and software for the editing portion of the studio. Then we have to develop a scalable plan to get it up and running. The equipment down there is about 13 years old. So we're trying to develop that with the help of an individual from Palos Heights who's helping us get a project plan together for that. So as soon as we move forward with that, I'll have another update for that. The voice over IP system, the phone system was updated over the weekend. Everything came back up normal on Monday. We have a new project manager for the redevelopment of the website. I have a webinar with them on Tuesday, so we're moving forward with that. We also have a couple projects, as I'm sure Chief Payton mentioned, with the Beast program and some other things that we're working on with the police department. Thank you.
Gerald?
I have a question. Are we working with GSU in some form of capacity with their television station at all to help us supplement ours?
I believe that is going to be the plan, to use, we went out there a couple of years ago and met some individuals over there, so that's definitely going to be part of our plan to reach out to them to help us get things rolling. Absolutely.
Because they have a state-of-the-art facility over there.
Yes, they
I
do.
mean, it's amazing.
Absolutely.
They got millions of dollars. Yeah, as a matter of fact, just for the record, Keisha Dyson and John has come to, they met with me at the cable station, and they're doing a proposal system right now to work with us with our kids, so that's in the making. And they're Tuesday and August is Friday again. So they're gonna meet with Daryl. I told them, I'm sorry, Mr. Bowman, on what they need to do, a proposal, see if they can give us some type of funding. They're trying to do a package deal with the apprenticeship, because I told them I'd like the journalism to be a part of it. So they said they're gonna get a proposal and get back with us. But I have a question about IP, voice over IP, VoIP. Can we make it so that the message when you call Village Hall, can you have it to say repeat, even though they're supposed to be closed, just send it to the various departments and they can get those messages on Monday, rather than just say the Village Hall is closed? You know what we repeat during the week, can they repeat it? And that you can, when you amend it, to pull that over to the Friday as well?
Yeah, I'll look into that.
Okay, thank you. You have a question?
Yes, Mr. Bolden, you're talking about the cable studio. Has the maintenance there always been your responsibility?
No.
Oh, okay, so
No, ma'am.
He's IT.
can acting what?
He's the IT person, that's why he's working on it. He used to be over the cable.
So, what the work that's being done at the cable station now, and the fact that all of the equipment is outdated and everything, that has never been your responsibility?
No, well, it was a separate department. So that person was in charge of the equipment and the update, or the program and stuff like that at the station.
So that didn't have anything to do with IT, and now it does? I'm
Well,
just trying to understand the process.
I think I'm assisting in helping getting the process moving. So that's what I've been assigned to do.
But in the past, that has not fallen under IT as your responsibility.
No, ma'am.
So the fact that this facility is all outdated and nothing has been done does not fall under your jurisdiction.
No, well, it does now.
It does now.
Yeah.
And so in an hour
Mayor,
where...
point of order.
Excuse me.
Point of order.
I'm sorry. Yeah, we can't, we'll have to do that after.
in asking the
Okay.
question.
Yes, you can speak to him after.
Okay.
Thank you. Chief?
Good evening, everybody. Quick update from the fire department. For the month of September 2017, the fire department responded to 134 calls for service. The breakdown was 86 of them were for EMS related, 40 were for fire calls, and we had 8 motor vehicle accidents, bringing our total up for the first 9 months of the year to 1,207 calls. We're working on making progress on the Code Red notification system. We are going to be working hard on that, and our goal is to have the system completely up and running online by November 1st. I also want to remind everyone now that the time change is not for a few weeks yet, but our slogan is change your clocks, change your batteries, and your smoke alarms. So we want to get that message out now to remind everyone to change those batteries when the clocks are changed on November 5th, I believe, of 2017. And also that now that fall is here, the weather's changing, the leaves are falling. We want to remind everyone that there is no open burning in the village limits. We have not had a problem with that yet, but we want to remind everyone now, according to the ordinance, no person shall engage in open burning of refuse of any kind. So any further questions, feel free to contact my office anytime during the week, and I will get back to you. And that's all I have.
Chief, thank you for saying that. My neighbor just set all his bushes on fire, and I was wondering, was that legal? It was all on fire with that.
No, it's illegal per ordinance. I believe it would result in some type of ordinance violation fine through the police department of some kind. But if we get calls for illegal burning, we will show up and put the fires out. Beyond that point, it would be up to law enforcement on how that's handled from that point forward.
Thank you.
Should we include code enforcement in something like that?
It may be a code issue. I'm not really sure how the enforcement, happens after that part of it, but
If they're doing it on their property though, you see what I'm saying? When they're on his property, that's what I'm saying. So when a person does something in their backyard or their front yard, they feel like this is theirs. So if it's gonna be a violation, I think they should know. Some code enforcement should come out. Whatever.
So,
You ask questions and you know not you ask.
just to reiterate what the fire chief is saying, our responsibility first is to educate residents on our ordinances and what they are. I think that's very important, especially ordinances that we have not had the habit of enforcing. So we want to educate, we want to enlighten, and we want to embrace our residents to ensure they know the rules and regulations as the board sets policy and legislation. In saying that, we will inform residents, and as far as writing violations, some ordinances specifically say code enforcement, some say police or code enforcement. Both police and code enforcement typically can enforce those type of violations. So if code enforcement is not available, then the police department will be more than happy to write those violations.
Good evening, Mayor, Board of Trustees, and residents. Just a couple quick up-to-date announcements. I am happy to say since our last board meeting, we have now removed 46 trees throughout the village. We're also doing some tree trimming, and we've patched 176 tons of asphalt in 2 weeks. So we are moving right along. Well, you just approved bills payable tonight, so we're gonna get some more tomorrow. And so we're moving right along. And to I would like to answer Ms. Truss regarding the trees and the leaves. Unfortunately, we have started switching over our vehicles for our winter plowing and season. So at the end of this month, that same truck that does a lot of the sweeping, we now switch it over to our sprayer and spreader for the winter seasons. I'd rather be prepared in advance than to get caught with a storm and we're not ready yet. So, but if something does come up, give me a call, 708-534-4823, and I will gladly do my best to try to pick up something that is left over or was missed, okay? That's it.
I have a question. question for trustee Wilson is not here, but she gave me her concern. Thank you for that report, because that's what she wanted to know, how many trees were cut. And she said she would like to see receipts for the whole work that was done. And also, how many trash cans where are the trash cans that was purchased? $575, and where are they located?
The metal cans have been all put at Palmer Park, Craig Park. We actually put some out here for this weekend's event, but majority of those went to all of the Palmer and the football area.
And
Yes.
how many?
The cans, we received 20. I actually have 5 at my shop now.
She wants the receipt for those, and also for the trim of the tree.
Finance would have those receipts for those bills for what you passed.
Well, my question is going to be the intersection sign.
The sign, we are actually, I am going Friday, thanks to Chief Bate.
I'll be here.
I am going Friday in regards to the state auction bid, and I'm going to try to see about getting that machine so we can start opening up the ground. We did locate it this week. Julie has been out, so we are all ready to go with it, and my plans are to have it done by the end of the month.
All right, thank you. Any other reports?
Report,
What are you having done? I'm sorry. What is this that you have?
Sign, the village sign.
Oh, okay.
So it's been here years ago. Okay.
So I will tell you, since the last board meeting, myself and the directors have been working very diligently to work on priorities to enhance the village's services and public safety and customer service. Parks and Recs, IT department, fire department, and public works honestly have been working diligently in getting these goals accomplished and addressing resident concerns. That's been very important. As far as the village manager's office, we've been working on getting the current fiscal year budget approved. We're on target, hopefully, to have this budget presented to the board on the October 24th board meeting. We're working on getting the 2015 audit finalized, and we're looking to target the October 24th board meeting or the November 14th board meeting tentatively. We're working very diligently, coming into compliance as far as the motor fuel tax fund. We have a couple more ordinances and resolutions that have to come before the board next board meeting in order to bring us to compliance to get those monies waived. We are also working on a future outlook for the village. We'll be meeting with a grant writer next week that only gets paid if a grant is awarded. And how that works is that specific grant writer will build their fee into the actual grant. So when the grant is awarded, her fee comes out of that grant. So I'm meeting with her. She's been very instrumental in other locations and other campuses and universities and assisting getting buildings and infrastructure grants.